reddest counties of in the state of Alabama. It's not. I live in Jefferson County, and I honestly say that. And when I moved to Jefferson County, I stopped voting in Lauderdale County or the state of Mississippi. That's one of the things that Percy Bland has not done. By living in Shelby County, the Mississippi has a law. Anytime you vote and you don't vote where you live at, meaning if you live in one district or one area or one community and vote outside of your district or outside of your ward, it is against the law. But imagine being a imagine being a resident of the state of Alabama and coming to Mississippi at opportune times and voting in Mississippi when you're not. Now, one of the things came up, and this is what I'm saying to the Democratic part of Lauderdale County. I'm a property owner of the state of Mississippi, Lauderdale County. I will be challenging anyone that is outside of the law. And Percy Bland is outside of the law. Now, folks, I got to tie the two devils together. I talked about it last night, and I knew some of this last night, but I wasn't going to tell you until I did. I had to cross a few more T's and dot a few I's. Now, Percy Bland and Jimmy Smith, now, the status quo is concerned that you're not going to keep their manumission type Negroes in there. Folks that are put in there to maintain status quo and to continue to do what they want you to do. So what they did is they got Percy who had no intention of running. Now I'm opinionating now, then I'm gonna get back to factual. So the status quo, the same people that controlled Jimmy Smith went and got Percy Bland. Wow. And so not only that, they got Copeland. So here you have 3 Republicans, 1 running as an independent, and you got 2 running as a Democrat. The whole purpose is to keep a viable candidate, a candidate that will take your city to the next area, to that next level, to a level that it has not been in a long time under any administration. Now you can understand when white folks are in charge, now they're doing right. They're looking out for their own county, looking out for their constituency. But when you got Percy Bland that you had, and God rest his soul, Bud May killed Barber. He killed Gary Barber. I think that's his name, the Barber. And my condolences to that family. And Bud and my condolences to Bud May too, because he ended up committing suicide. But that's not what this show is about. This show is about how Percy Bland is breaking the law, folks. You can remember it was Kermit Kendricks, Percy Bland, city attorney, that took me off the ballot when I removed the city council person that's running for mayor now. It was me that very eloquently went there when Tyrone Johnson was living outside of his ward and had him removed. I did the research and everything. Now, so when I ran, they said that I couldn't run because I was not a resident of the city of Maria. Wow, karma is a bitch. Boy, look at it, Percy Bland. You broke the law. Now, I didn't break the law. They just took me off the ballot before I can even get on the ballot. They didn't do that one time. Twice they took me off the ballot. One time I prevailed. They was talking about a felony conviction I had. I had not had a pardon by then, but eventually I got a pardon from all that. But folks, I gotta tell you this, is that Percy Bland lives at 1020 Connell Circle, Alabaster, Alabama, and has been living there ever since they moved from Meridian. His son graduated from Thompson High School in Alabaster, Alabama, May the 23rd, 2024. So now let's talk about this now, folks. How is it that Percy Bland gonna have his family? And I'm gonna show you what the law says about that. When he wanted to run for mayor and he went to the Democratic Party, what he told them is that he filed homestead exemption in Lauderdale County, making him eligible. No, that does not make you eligible for parole. In the state of Mississippi, it is against the law for you to live in another state and file for exemption in the state of Mississippi. Okay, now y'all hear too bad. I need to ask you, please don't talk to me this time. I just want you to listen. Too bad saying, well, he filed homestead exemption. Well, let me tell you what the law says about that. And I'm going to show you where you can go. But let's talk about Percy not being eligible for exemption in the state of Mississippi, even though he still have the house that he owned when he ran for mayor. The first time he didn't get it. and he got it in 2013. He moved out on that, I think, Rosenbaum's old house, but once he lost the job, he had to get up out of there because he couldn't afford that. So I imagine he put it on the market. I don't know what he did, but I don't want to get sidetracked. So let me get back to person breaking the law. Now, right now, what I want Q, I know you're watching. So what I want you to do now is go to Double Wonder, and I want you to put up, where Percy live at now. Also, his wife, Deidre Bland, lives at that address, 1020 Connor Circle, Alabaster, Alabama, 35007. She also works for Arch Realtor. She's a licensed realtor for the state of Alabama and state of Mississippi, but she's working in Alabama. Her office where she work at, she's working the address where she works. She's employed with Arch Realtor, and you can see it right there. There's her address. There she is, and there she work at, folks. And so now take that down, baby. And Q, what I want you to put up now is the address. Where you see the address, put it up again, and so I can point my cursor there. Put it up again so I can point my cursor there, because I want you all to look at that. And then we're going to go on a further still. The fact that Deidre Bland lives, and look at this address. Okay, now what I want, okay, this here is where she work at now. Okay, and she's a realtor, and there's her license number. And now that's an Alabama license number now. Okay, what I want you to now put her home address up there, Q. And you can see it right there. It is right there, 1020 Connor Circle, Alabaster, Alabama. What I said, 35007. See, maintaining a Mississippi number. Oh, this is Percy Bland. This is not Deidre. See, look at Percy Bland. There's his address right there. Maintaining. This is his State Farm office. If I click that, it'll go directly to the State Farm office. If you click this right here, again, it'll go to the State Farm office. But you can see his address right here. Okay, what I want you to do now is put a picture up of what he said about when he, on September the 1st, Percy put a picture up. There it is right there, folks. This here is let me see the name of this park. It's a park in Hoover, Alabama. There's Percy and his wife, and he's saying happy birthday to my wife, 25 years. So they're not separated and they're not divorced. Okay, bring that down, baby. And if you can, put the name of that park up there, because I'm on a roll now. So you see, here it is right here. It's called Star Lake. We have went there. Me and all of my children have been across that bridge because we used to live in Hoover. And even now we'll go there, even though we don't live in the area, because it's such a wonderful place to go. And you had the ducks there. You can take that down. Okay, so you can see Percy Bland's address is right there. So let's go and talk about a doozy. Here's what I want to say this. How is it that Jimmy Smith is not investigating this? He has a police force. He has a detective division. How is it? Because they're in cahoots together. Now, y'all hear too bad I asked him to be quiet. He won't be quiet for nothing, folks. He said, how can you tie them in together? Because for one, Tube Belt and podcast family, he's not doing anything about that and didn't say anything about it. But when he did his campaign announcement, he didn't attack Percy Bland. He attacked Rita Jack. You understand that they don't want anyone there that's not a part of the status quo. They want to keep people there so they can keep filtering money into their coffers, their friend, and they will make Percy Bland and Jimmy Smith rich. Now, again, I'm finna tie Percy Bland in together. Now, when Thomas Van, and I said this in my last podcast, man, when Thomas Van went to court on the 27th, guess who defended the city of Meridian against him? It was Kermit Kendricks, an Alabama resident who lives in Hoover, who works for the farm, Farr and Foreman, if I'm not mistaken, it's a large law firm, and their office is in Birmingham, Alabama. How is it that Jimmy Smith would deviate from his city attorney, and that's Thagard and Barry? Those folks are the ones that represent the city of Meridian, represent the city of Meridian against me. And they done so against Rita Jack. And they're Van and Rita basically is from the same nexus, the same administration, the Bland administration, that the Smith administration continued. They did not make it right. They continue to violate their rights. And so Kermit Kendricks, who no longer live, how's that Jimmy Smith gonna take money from the citizens of Lauderdale County, Meridian, Mississippi, and pay it to someone that does not live in the city? Because they both work for the same group of people. They want to maintain the status quo. They want to shut people up like me. And then they go, oh, let's go a little bit further than this. And I know I chopped off my paragraph. Let's go a little bit further than this. Jimmy Smith is not challenging Percy. He's not saying anything. And how is it that person unfooled some of you out there? And I had Pam to watch this, and I hope Lois watching this. And I want y'all to do y'all research. He's violating the law. Now, let me tell you what I did. I don't play. Percy Bland put false charges on me, but I'm going to put real charges on him. Percy, when you file homestead exemption and you don't live in the state of Mississippi, even though you still have your house here over there in that little blue house that you still have, we have the address. Baby, put the address to that house that Percy Bland owned that he's claiming homestead exemption on. Put that up there. And after you do that, I want you to put where his son graduated from high school in Thompson High School in 2023, folks. This stuff ain't nothing I had to hire an investigator to get. You see how Percy Bland is playing you all, the citizens of Lauderdale County. And I'm gonna be polite to you today because I don't want you to be mad at me because I might say something. I want you to be bad at the Negro and the niggas that's trying to bamboozle you. The Negroes that are coming up in your face. There it is. You see right there, Deidre Bland. That's her. She put that on her Facebook page. That's Percy's son. That's where he graduated. Put the school that he graduated. Put up there where he played for their baseball team, folks. She gonna put that up there. And so that's where he finished school at one. Now, Percy, when he became mayor, you know this, he took his children out of Meridian Public School and sent them to Lamar. So his daughter graduated from Lamar. When they moved from Lauderdale County, Meridian, Mississippi, he immediately put his son in the high school that he just graduated from. Put that picture up there also, Q. And so, folks, I'm letting you know this. And then I'm gonna tell you what I did. And then this is just a special podcast. Y'all share this and y'all let people know. Percy Bland, you broke the law. And the reason why I wanted to wait till 5 o'clock and do this because the deadline for qualifying for mayor actually ended at 5 o'clock. So they can't run and get somebody else to run. Now, Percy Bland done submitted his application already, so he's breaking the law. Jimmy Smith don't go and investigate it. He's breaking the law because of such thing as accessory after the fact. And such thing as accessory to the fact. So here you got two Negroes that ain't worth a shit and ain't done nothing for anybody in the citizens of any of the citizens of Meridian, Mississippi, other than themselves, that's blatantly breaking the law. Q, where's those pictures that I asked for? I do want you to put the picture up where this man here does not even come to Meridian, Mississippi to go out. Here's the house where Percy Bland is living at. It's off the market. He had put it on the market. He put it on the market for about $400,000. He done went down to 200 and some thousand before he finally took it out. The house ain't worth about 30, 40,000. Bland, ain't nobody gonna pay you for that house. Okay, take it off, baby. But put up again. And here he is, and here's the baseball refs. That's his son named Pyron. That's when he was a senior. He was varsity then. And now he played ball, I guess, at Troy University. But anyway, it's not about him. It's not about his son, folks. What I'm doing is proving to you that Percy Bland does not live. Now, how about I bring up the law now? I got to bring up to the law. Yes, Percy, you broke the law. In the state of Mississippi, in order to file homestead and you are married, both adults must live at the homestead. They have to live in the place. You cannot file homestead exemption if your wife do not live in the house with you. We have proven on this podcast that she does not live in the house with you. We have proven on this podcast that not only have you continued to file homestead exemption when you no longer live there, for 3 years you have been breaking the law. And if you just file for homestead exemption again in January, you broke the law again, Bland. You broke the law again. And folks, now I'm fixing to read this here. This is taken from, this is a Mississippi Administrative Code from this here. And the reason why I know all this, folks, I'm looking away. This is from the Mississippi Department of Revenue. And this is taken from their website, from their codes. And this here is head of household section. This is 35VI.03.04, Mississippi Administrative Code. And it's part 6, subpart 03, chapter 4. And we're going to go down there to head of family. It says married person, any married person living with their spouse as defined as head of house, this property may be owned by one or both, but only one capital is filed, but you must be living. You both got to be there. Even separated person does not matter. If you're separated, you got to have custody of that child. That child got to live with you. Ain't nothing. I'm not going to read all the law to you. I just want to read to you the part where it said the penalty. The penalty is any person who swears under oath to the truth of an application which is found to contain a false statement is guilty of perjury. And this is section. Now, y'all write this down. Section 22-33-31, Mississippi Code annotated, is guilty of a felony. Y'all hear that? Person blamed you getting ready to be a felon. Okay. And may be punished upon conviction by a fine of not more than $5,000 or by imprisonment for not more than 2 years or both. And Percy, you deserve to go to prison both. Now, you know, you told me out your own mouth that the feds investigated you and they didn't arrest you because you thought you were smarter than everybody. Percy, here's one thing that I try to make sure I do. I try to be careful what I do because I know it's Negroes out there like you that going to do all you can to try to, they want that power, folks. And what I did today, I did this for you. I hope you all look. I hope y'all listen. I hope y'all pass this podcast and show this. Now I got to tell you what I did. Now, what I did is I contacted the tax assessor for Lauderdale County today. And I explained it to her and I gave her addresses and I told all that to her. She'd never been presented with something like this before because, you know, the tax assessor assume that when you come in there, you fill out anything that you're going to tell the truth. See, Percy wasn't planning on running for mayor because he knew he had been unelected. But status quo was so concerned, in my opinion, they went and got him. So the first thing he did last year, he took his phone. He doesn't own the house. He rent the house. He does. He rent the house where it is. The rent is $2,005 a month. And Deidre doesn't live in Meridian. See, so you understand that Percy doesn't run his office. He's never there. He has a staff that is all white. But look where he's coming. He don't hire black people. And you know we have some qualified black people. But he's coming to you now making promises that he's not going to keep and doing things that he's doing. But he's fooling you. He doesn't even care enough about your city to keep his children there. He doesn't pay any taxes in there other than the taxes he paid. When I saw Percy on a Sunday, he come down and go to church and head back up to Alabama. When I saw, he don't even buy gas in Mississippi because he don't want you to see it. He bought gas. I saw him in York, Alabama. He doesn't even buy gas in your city or your town. And here this Bama is running for office, and he really is a Bama because he live in Alabama. But when you call somebody Bama, you're calling them like a Negro or a nigger or somebody that's ignorant or think they smarter than everybody. But he's walking around in there. I want you all to share this video and make him explain that. Person, you're going to jail because not only did I call her, I called the Attorney General's office for them to investigate you for filing a homestead exemption, and you're messing with the election. They don't pay that in the state of Mississippi. You might be connected in Lauderdale County, and your folks might be connected in Hines County, and you finna right now, your folks gonna have a heart attack when they see this podcast here because you have broken Mississippi law. Folks, he is not a resident of the state of Mississippi. You understand, when I ran, look here, I didn't do nothing but went away quiet into the night. That's what I did. And because I couldn't, the documents that I had did not show. Oh, and it was Percy Bland. He didn't even let his election commissioner. Normally, when the city of Meridian have an election, they always let the circuit court clerk handle it. Percy Bland didn't do that because he wanted to control the election. So he had his own electors and all that, and they would not certify me. So Percy, I have already contacted Ted Reynolds. He's the chairman of the Democratic Party. And so, Ted, I'm here to tell you is that if you certify a person, then you'll be breaking the law. So is it, and I don't think Ted would because he's an impeccable character. And Jimmy Smith, my problem with you is that you didn't do what I did, folks. And that in itself, I'll say, and then the fact that Kermit Kendricks is getting city money. He doesn't live there. He doesn't spend any money there because the case is not even in Lauderdale County. It's in Jackson, Mississippi. So when Kermit Kendricks passed from Hoover, Alabama, where he lived, going to Jackson, Mississippi, to fight a case that Meridian is giving him hundreds of thousands of dollars to represent. And you got to watch that. In my opinion, this is a way of filtering. Now, this is me talking, and I'm not saying this is factual. This is a way of filtering money to the Bland campaign. Hire Kermit Kendricks, pay him hundreds of thousands of dollars. So city councils of Meridian, that's the reason why I'm so hard on you guys, because you guys had to approve for the city of Meridian to hire them folks. That's the reason why they need to go. That's the reason why they need to go, because they let the mayor just come in and kick them around and they do what they want to do. So here's what I want. I want change. I don't care who it is, but we can't let the status quo pick for us. Now, I think Ramonda Walker could be a pretty good candidate, but Kim have already shown who she is. She ran for mayor. She wanted to lead the city. She didn't make it. She didn't get enough votes to make it. So now she wants that job back. See, status quo is really worried now. And then who is Rue? I don't know who Rue is. I know a little bit. Here's what I say about Joe Jr. I don't want to say nothing about Joe Jr. I want to say this to you again, folks. I want to thank y'all for listening. I want y'all to tell somebody to tell somebody. I want to look at my chats now and see that, well, I guess any of you hadn't said anything. Now you can text me, chat me, or anything. But this is the breaking news, is that Percy Bland is not a resident of the state of Mississippi, nor is he a resident of Lauderdale County, that he's using his homestead exemption of a way of showing that he's a resident. But the Supreme Court, the Mississippi Supreme Court, and the appeal court have already ruled that homestead exemption is not just it. It is one rule that could be used to make a determination about, and I love you too, baby, but about residency. But when your wife don't live where you live, then you cannot claim homestead exemption. I want to thank y'all for listening in, and y'all have a good evening.